Hello and welcome to Autism 411. I'm Dr. Tamara Moody, educator, autism advocate, founder of South Florida Autism Charter School and South Florida Autism Center. Whether you're a parent, a caregiver, an educator, or someone who wants to better understand autism, I'm so glad you're here with me. Each week on Autism 411, we have an honest conversation, share practical strategies, and explore real life experience that empower families and the professionals who we support. My goal is to provide information that you can use, encouragement that you can hold on to, and hope that reminds you that you're never walking this journey alone. Thank you for joining me, and let's dive into today's episode. So I have a surprise for you. I have a friend. She's more than just a coworker. She's more than just one of my assistant principal. She's truly a friend. Her name is Miss Amanda, and she is the assistant principal at Country Club Middle School. Today, Miss Amanda and I are going to talk about beyond the diagnosis.
Hi, Dr. Moody. Thank you for having me. My name is Amanda. I am the assistant principal over at Country Club, and I've actually been lucky enough to work at SFAX for 10 years.
Oh, 10 years. So this topic is going to be super easy. It's preparing your child with autism to be successful and for the 2026-2027 school year. So I am excited to share this platform with you. So I'm going to start off the conversation. I'm going to bring you in and please be honest with me. Please share all your information that you've worked with me over the years so you get it. You know me and you get autism. So, can I ask a question? As the first day of school get closer, are you wondering how your child will adjust? Will they have a good teacher? Will they make it through the day? If they've been asking yourself these questions, today's conversation is for you. You know what the funny thing about it is? We had open house this morning, and I met a couple of parents who the anxiety was off the chart. I saw tears. I don't know if I could do this. Oh, I want my one-on-one with my child. Oh, what's going to happen if my child doesn't eat? What's going to happen if he that? And I could feel the anxiety coming out through the parents. And so I wanted to have this conversation with you so that we can assist the parents, so we could give them some different takes and like the things that they can do. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, and please jump in if you feel like there's something you want to add to this. I have some questions for you, but I have some discussion that I'd like to kind of like get the conversation going. Transition. When I tell you transition is important for kids, transition is important for kids. What do you look for? Well, I am big on that. I tell parents drive to the new school, even the old school, even if it's a school that they've been going for years, but if they've been home for 2 months for the summer, drive to that school. Take a picture of that school, because guess what? Sometimes schools get painted. I know for you, Miss Amanda, you guys just got this big new nice painting. Well, your kids aren't used to that.
Yeah.
So
They haven't seen it yet. We're super excited that we just did our pavilion over at Country Club is officially our South Florida Autism Charter School puzzle piece pavilion. So it really has our big name on the campus, and that will be new and super exciting for our kids and our families.
And now that you said that, even if a parent can't drive to the school to take the picture, maybe you could send home some pictures to the parents when you and your staff call to welcome them back and talk about the different reinforcement, different things that they need to bring. Because or maybe, you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe you should do a social story since you have so many new kiddos. Yes, guys, another thing that I think that we need to have is create these social stories, parents. Social stories are they're books, right? That you can read to your kids and go, guess what? On Wednesday morning, you're going to be going to South Florida Autism Charter School, and your new assistant principal is Miss Amanda, and your principal is Dr. Moody. You know that Jamaican Dr. Moody she will speak in patois sometimes, but if you slow her down, she'll slow down and she'll talk to you. The one that loves to give tickles. But you can put anything in a social story that's going to keep your kids engaged, because social story is going to make them feel comfortable about this new family that they're going to get or this new school that they're going to go to, and make it fun like we've talked about in the past.
Yeah.
You know, it needs to be a place that they're going to want to go to. And how do you do that? You make the social story fun. You're going to get good food. You're going to meet new friends. Your teacher is really cool. Just and make it in a way that you know your kids are going to appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's all about building positive associations with school, with going back to school, that they know and they're excited for school. Everyone in the house should be talking about school, getting ready for school. School is going to be so much fun and it has all the things that you like, and you can use the computer and you're going to get your goldfish crackers and it's going to be up. They're going to listen to your favorite song. It's going to be so fun.
One of the things, one of my teachers just ran out saying that she had to go shopping for her son. Same thing. You know, make shopping be in the social story, because we're going to get new underwear. We're going to get new shoes because we're going to our beautiful new campus and so forth. So yeah, I'm a big fan of social stories. Establishing routine is another one that I think parent needs to realize. I don't know about the parents out there, but I know for my kids, they've been waking up at noon because they don't have school, right? So they've been waking up later in the day. One of the things that I do with my children 2 weeks before school start is that I try to start getting them up earlier so that they start getting used to waking up early. Because if you wait until the day before school start, go to bed and wake them up, you're going to have behaviors, and we want it to be successful. Also, helping children who struggles with change. That's where those social story comes in too. Video modeling too. There's a lot of things on social media that you can find. First day of school video, show that a couple of times before school starts. But you could also make your own home video at home. What teacher hope for parents to know?
I think as from a teacher's perspective, what we're hoping that parents know or getting ready for that first day is that we're on your side. We're going to be a team. We are going to work together. One of my favorite things that we do here at SFAX, and I think it's a great idea if you're another teacher out there, is that we always do a phone call for every family before the first day of school, so that we're making that connection. We're letting you know, what do you need for the first day of school? What do I need to have in that backpack? We talk a lot about reinforcers. Reinforcers are whatever is going to be motivating to that child.
Exactly.
So whatever behavior that you're hoping to see more of, you're following it up always with, maybe for one child, it might be a Skittle or a goldfish or a chip. It's whatever is going to make them want to do it more, come to you more. For some kids, it might be a high five or a great job or music or bubbles or any kind of thing. Every single person is different. Even teachers, parents, we all have reinforcers for us too. It's not just something for our kids.
And I'm so happy that you showed the parents, or you spoke about the different types of reinforcers, because sometimes parents get caught up on that it has to be edible. No, it could be a tangible. It could also be very social. A lot of our students here, they couldn't care less about the Skittles, but a tickle or a high five is like a major, major thing. Well, we don't know your child. So those are the information that you need to be sharing with the teacher when you get that phone call. And I can promise you, if there's any educators out there, the phone calls are information that you're going to need to know. I mean, are they allergic to mosquito bites? Or do they have seizures? Like, make those conversations meaningful so that the kids could be successful for the first week, first day, for the whole school year.
I think it does a lot too to alleviate some of the parents' fears, because they might be worried, like, what if they don't know that my child's allergic to nuts?
Exactly.
What if nobody knows that she doesn't like the milk at lunch and they want her to drink it? Like, what if nobody knows how my child communicates? Those are definitely fears, and you can do a lot of work on the front side to try and help our parents, because it's a huge transition for them as well.
Well, I know for us at South Florida Autism Charter School, what parents should expect for the first week is that we are really not placing that much demands. We are establishing ourselves as the reinforcer. We are pairing. We want your kids, like Amanda loved to say, we want your kids to run towards us versus run away from us. We want to be your child's best friend. So we're not going to ask a child, what do you want to eat? and they say cookie, then we're going to say spell cookie. No, we're going to give them cookies.
Yeah.
We do a whole bunch of freebies that week, a whole bunch of free hugs, free high five. You don't have to do anything to get a hug or a squeeze from a teacher, because we want your child to want to be at school. They're not going to learn if they're uncomfortable. They're not going to want to be here if someone doesn't make them feel good. So for us, it's really those first week. It's always been our tradition that we take the first week of school and we establish ourselves as the reinforcer. We pair ourselves with our student. So, how do you reach out to parent? Like, if you're a parent, guys, think about this. For me, it's not what you say, is how you say it, right? So you're going to have concerns maybe the first week of school. This is where you establish those communication with the parents. Guys, teachers, at least the teachers at SFAX, they made a choice to work here, right? 90% of our staff has a sibling, a cousin, a relative with autism. So they chose to work here because they believe in our mission. Our mission is very clear. I started this thing that I do every morning with my staff, and we say one team, one mission, one community, because we all have to believe in the same thing. And for me, that first interaction that a teacher and a parent have because of a disagreement can continue for a whole school year if it's not done properly. So I'm already saying, we're not perfect, we make mistakes, but we have to be able to talk to each other in a respectful way so that we can then work it out, because ultimately, it's at the end of the day, it's not about ego, it's about your child.
Yeah.
And that's what we should be thinking about in every decision, in every conversation, in every phone call, in every email, in every note that's written between home and school. We can't do it without the parents' involvement, and you guys can't do it without us. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, where does the kids spend the most waking moments? At school. At school. So, Amanda, I have a question for you. What do you do before students even arrive?
So one of the things I'm looking at is, do I have a lot of visuals in my class? I know the importance of visuals because our kids don't always. One of the major things about autism is that they don't have the social context to understand necessarily just walking into a room and understanding what's going on. So we have to have a lot of visuals that are explaining kind of what's going on in the room. And also it has to be a lot of ways for them to communicate. Every single child in my classroom needs to have a way to communicate every single day, all day long. So there's visuals at the desk, there's visuals at the wall, there's a potty on the door so that if somebody needs to go potty, they at least can go over and show me the picture. I'm thinking about, does anyone have an AAC device that I need to know? We're going to have to charge it. We need to make sure we know how to use that program because there's so many different ones. I'm thinking about, do I have enough areas in the classroom that everyone has a comfortable place to sit? There's an area to cool down. I'm thinking about the physical structure of my classroom, and I'm thinking about, is every child going to be supported in this space?
Exactly. I am right there with you. Another thing that I would love for you to think about, and I saw that today, is the fear in the parents. Like, they're so fearful. How do you navigate that with your parents? And I asked you that question. I know how I do it, just because your school has a lot of new kids. I have my old kids are coming back at this campus, but at Country Club Middle School, we have all these new families, and I met a whole bunch of them today. And the fear, parents had tears. Like, how do you navigate that?
It's bigger this year than I've ever had because we're a brand new campus and I have more new students this year than I've ever had. So I definitely understand the parents' fear because for some of them, their child has never been going to school or going anywhere that's as far away from where they live. One of my families is used to going to a school that was across the street because they knew they were right there. And for a lot of our kids, they may have been going to school with a one-on-one that was their RBT that their parents already knew and trusted. So for me, it's really about establishing trust. I've gotten the really positive experience that I've gotten to do personal tours with every single family that's coming before the first day of school. So they've at least gotten to meet me and know me. And I think once they kind of see this is how we're set up, this is our structure of our day, that we aren't just random people, that we do, like, our heart is in this. Like, you don't work at SFAX because you don't love this and you're not motivated to really, like, follow through with our mission. I think that goes a long way. And also the open communication, it's really communication that establishes trust.
And then, but what else do you do? 'Cause, like, if I'm a new parent, like,
Mm-hmm.
how do you prove to them that this is the right setting? It's a hard question, huh? Well,
that is a hard question.
But so one of the things that I did today, because we had some parents who came in, is like telling them like 90% of our staff has a sibling, a brother, a cousin, a relative that has autism. And it's extremely important that parents know that there's people here, because we both don't have children with autism. Yeah. So why should they trust us? Mm-hmm. But when you assure them that our HR person or janitorial staff or PE teacher has 2 sons, all these different people in our school, they get it. That you see like the anxiety go from here and down, right? Yeah. But I think one of the most important thing that we can do for our parents is to reassure them that we're transparent, right? Mm-hmm. Come and volunteer. Yeah. Come and see the school. Come and answer the phone. Come and volunteer in the cafeteria. Mm-hmm. And I think that if you're not even at SFAX and you're at a different campus and you're at a different school, talk about, can I come and volunteer? Yeah. You know, can I be the room mom? Mm-hmm. How do I get to be a part of PTSO so I can be more involved? But it's really important that parents feel like they're a part of the mission. They're a part of the vision, that they have a voice. And I think that's why we've been so good, because I can think back, and I'm sure you can too, parents come on that first day, they're like mean. But then after they get to know us, we're like, they're our biggest like cheerleaders. They just love the program and they love us. And that's so important that we continue that. Okay, so I have some takeaways, right? And maybe you want to add to some of these takeaways that I have for parents, because ultimately at the end of the day, I think it's extremely important that parents listen to these podcasts but leave with something, because you just don't want, because people need to know that we are thinking about them and we see them. I think that's like super important that we see them. So for me, it's that perfectionist, right? People think that the first day should be like super perfect. And you and I both know that
it might not be.
It may not be. But guess what? It's what?
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay for it not to be for it not to be perfect. Consistency, for me, consistency is more important than perfection. Yeah. You know, I also think that teachers and parents should be on the same page. Mm-hmm. That first interaction is important. And I love to tell parents, I'm like, small wins lead to the biggest progress. Yeah. Anything else you want to add to a parent takeaway that we could share with the parents?
I think that was really positive, and I think just that connection is so important, like that positive relationship and the positive association with school is really like the number one takeaway.
Yeah. So I usually do Autism 411 in a minute, but I want to try to change it up a little bit. It's going to be Dr. Moody Take, right? So after nearly 3 decades working with children with autism, I've learned that the beginning of the school year isn't about having the perfect first day. It's about creating the foundation for a successful year. Give your child grace. Give your teacher even more grace. And don't forget to give yourself grace. Progress doesn't happen overnight, but every day is another opportunity for growth. Miss Amanda, thank you so much for being here with me this morning. I will definitely have you back. I'm sure my listeners are going to adore you. So I just want to close by saying thank you for joining me again. Thank you for another episode of Beyond the Diagnosis Autism 411. If today's conversation encouraged you or give you hope, please subscribe, please like, love, share this episode with another family, your child's teacher, your neighbor, siblings. Together we shine in all things. Let's choose grace.